Tools make it easier for you to be able to do the job that is assigned to you. Making sure that you have the right tool is important, but even more important is making sure that you know how to use that tool correctly. So we're going to learn some of the common tools that are used in measurement and in carpentry so you can learn how to use them correctly and their purpose. It is important to show respect to your tools. The tools are there to help your job make it easier. These tools make you money. So you want to make sure that you keep all your tools clean and properly stored so you can find them when you need them. Make sure you know how to use them safely. We're going to cover a broad range of tools that we're going to use on the job site and in this class and the rest of this presentation. We're going to talk about tools that were used for measurements, specifically linear measurements right now. This means that you're going to measure things in a straight line. As an example, what you would use a tape measure or a ruler for. Most tape measures and rulers are marked in 1/16 of an inch. You had an assignment yesterday that talked about how to read those. Hopefully you were able to complete that. Retractable tape measures. Retractable tape measures start out anywhere between 3 feet to a couple hundred feet in length. They're used to measure distances between objects or heights of objects. Make sure you use these tools correctly. Do not allow the tape measure to slide in all the way without keeping it slowing down. Never put your finger on the side of the blade or it will cause you to get cut. Never bend the tape measure back and forth as if you're playing with it. This makes the blade weak and will cause it to break. To measure the outside distance of an object, place the hook of the tape measure on the outside edge of the object and pull the tape measure past the object and then carefully read where the object ends on the tape measure to gather your measurement. When reading the tape measure, follow the examples that were given to you in the previous presentation. One way to measure the distance of inside objects is to extend the tape measure against the edge of the object. Retract the blade all the way to the other end. Allow the blade to make a slight bend. Then carefully read the measurement at the bend. Another way to measure the inside dimensions is to extend the blade against the object with the hook. Then take the tape measure and rest it on the other side. Read the measurement on the blade and add the distance that is on the back of the case. This will give you the total distance inside the object. Make sure you use a tape measure properly. Keep the blade clean and dry. This will allow your tape measure not to get rust and get dirty. Never bend the tape measure at a sharp angle, either forward or backwards. Doing this will cause the tape measure to break. Always place your finger under the blade and not on the side. When you place your finger under, make sure you're always pressing slightly upward to keep the tape measure slow or to lock it in place. Combination squares are used to find measurements on boards. Usually they have a blade of about 12 inches long. They are great for laying out angles of 90 degrees and 45s. We demonstrated how to use a combination square in class. Speed square is very similar to a combination square. It can help you draw straight lines, but it also helps you to lay out angles on your boards. Another good use for a combination or a speed square is as a saw guide. We'll demonstrate that in class at a later date. Compasses are used to lay out arcs and circles. You have probably used one of these in math classes. Protractors are used to find the measures of angles. Most protractors can find the measure between 0 and 100 degrees. Sometimes you can get a protractor that goes from 0 to 360 degrees. Sliding T-bevel. Loosen the wing nut or the locking device in the middle. That will allow that blade to slide forward and backwards and to be angled. This will allow you to find the angle between two surfaces so that you can measure it or duplicate it. Framing square is a flat L-shaped tool. One side is usually 24 inches long, while the other side is about 16 inches long. These framing squares are used to help you lay out stairs and angles, which we'll learn in a later class. Straight edge is basically a ruler. This will allow you to line up against two marks and to help you draw a straight line when you need to make a long cut. If you have a really long cut that you need to make, that's longer than a straight edge, you can use a chalk box. A chalk box is nothing more than a string with some chalk inside. As you pull the string tight, you can then snap it, and it will leave a line on the board that will allow you to follow when you make your cut. These are some of the tools that you're going to use in construction when you help you lay out and measure.